All right, picking up from where we left off last week when we created this Hatz.AI app to create quotes automatically from transcripts. So we have a meeting. Um, we can take that meeting and run it through this app to generate quotes that we can then share on social media. Like you see all the, people like Tony Robbins and stuff that have all these quotes out there. So it helps you let you create your own quotes. If you didn't see that, you can scroll back in the feed and find it. But what we're doing now, and I will show you real quick. Updated the generator real quick so that I can use the API. Um, the API, I don't upload files, so I'm just sending the text over instead of uploading file. Um, so basically, there's instead of the file upload we did on the previous one, this one we're going to send a text. And what we're going to do is we're going to build out an automation in make.com. So I kind of got it started here. Basically, I just have this database where I pulled the API key that I set up to do for this. Then we're going to use Fireflies. So Fireflies is what I use for my meetings. Obviously, if you use something else, you can use that. But we're going to list the transcripts, and I'm going to pick my ID. I don't need the title. What I need is the date. So what I'm going to do when this is done is I'm going to set add hours, and I'm going to put now. So we're basically going to add hours. Now is the current date and time, as you can see. We're going to add hours, but since we want to go in the past, we're going to put a negative in here. So we're going to go negative 24. But because we're doing this as a test, and I'm just going to put a 1 because I know, I had a meeting recently. So I'm going to put this to a limit as 1. Again, you probably don't want to put a limit of 1 because you want this to grab all your meetings. But we're going to hit save, and we'll just run that, make sure it works. There you go. There was a meeting. I was on a podcast. So take that. Then what we're going to do, because we're going to get multiple meetings back, is we're going to iterate over them. So an iterator basically takes an array. If there was more than one meeting, you would see bundle 2, bundle 3, bundle 3, or bundle 3, bundle 4. We're going to iterate over those. So basically, for each one of those, they have sentences. So sentences are the actual the speaking. So this one is Emilio. He spoke one time. No, this is what we're going to iterate over. So you only see the one, but it's going to put sentences in there. So we're going to go through each sentence, and what we're going to do is aggregate them because we can't set an array. This array probably has hundreds. Yeah, hundreds of sentences. So we need to aggregate these into 800. So we're going to need to aggregate those into a block of text, basically. So we're going to iterate over the sentences, and we are going to use this text aggregator. We're going to put the source as the iterator, and we're going to put the name of the person, space, and we'll put what they said. So we'll put the text in. All right. So what that's going to do is iterate over all those sentences, create one big block of text for the transcript. From there, we're going to send it to the Hatz API that we have here. So this is the app. We're going to send it here. So we're going to do a request. The URL, I will just copy that. Copy that URL. It's a post. We're going to add some headers. The first header, we need to send the API key. So X, and I'll be resetting my API key after this, but put that API key in there. And then we're going to put content type is application/JSON. Body type is going to be raw. Content is JSON. And then we got to put our string in here. Again, I'm just going to copy and paste this to save time. What we're doing here is saying, if you remember, I'll just bring this up here. We have industry. So I just hard coded this in because this is running for me. Our emphasis, speaker, and the transcript, which is going to be this text, which we're actually going to have from our aggregator. And I'm going to have it use Grok as the model. All right, so then once we're done with that, we're going to get the text back and we're going to have to clean it up so that we can put it through our JSON parser. So let's go here and do a global match. It's not case sensitive. It will be multi-line. And what we want to do is clean up. We're going to ignore basically everything outside the brackets that we're going to get back. And the text is going to come from, I don't even have it. So let's put test there. Let me unlink this so we can test this. So let's run it one time. Sometimes you can't pick what you the data that you want because you haven't ran it yet. Once you run it, then it knows what data is coming over, and then you can pick it. So now I can put this back, and the data is going to be right here. I know what I did wrong. Actually, that's not what we want. Let me go back to here. We want it to come back in JSON. So parse response, yes. Right now I'm just getting it back in a blob of text. So let me do that again. All right. That should do the trick. All right, so now you can see I got choice. It parsed it so I can come down and pick it. So basically we want to take the content. You can see this text in the beginning, this JSON, apostrophe, 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 JSON. We want to get rid of that. So that's what we're doing with this text parser. Clean it up. All right, and we got that. So once we do that, we're going to parse the JSON. And we're going to parse what we get back from that. So let's try that again. It shouldn't end on a transformer, which is what this is, but our goal is to basically take these and we're going to store them in a database. And then the next time we're going to take them and send them to us for approval. But for this time, the goal is to get the quotes back from the API automatically from Fireflies to a database that we can access. So let's test this out again. Actually, we could, yeah, let's just run it again. Sorry, I do these kind of fly by the seat of my pants and kind of changing directions on the fly. All right, so now we got the quotes back, parsed in JSON. You can see it's almost like a record. So now we're going to create a database record. And that's going to be here in RACG Automated Marketing. and we're going to put it in quotes, and we're going to call this, so that meeting was Growth Wire Podcast. And oh, hold on, actually, before I do that, let me save. What we need to do is iterate over this, because we're going to have multiple, so I need to put an iterator in there, put select Jason's quotes because there's more than one, and then what I can do is use the bundle order position. So it'll be basically the title dash one, title dash two, title dash three as it creates these records. So the quote and the explanation, and I want to set the status to do, because we can use that later to drive our workflow. Um, that's it. Let's run it again here. Let me bring up Airtable. Show you how this works. So I'm gonna click run, and let's watch Airtable. Hitting Hatz.AI, the API we built, or we didn't build the API, but we built the app. The API is accessing text parser, and it went through. So there was a podcast, there's the quotes. I'm sure some of them aren't that good. Again, the goal is to just get them. We could pick the best ones. Explanation. That's it. So from here, we're able to basically send these to ourselves for an approval. So build out an approval process to review them, tweak them, to ultimately create social media content. So that's it. That's the next step of this. On the next video, I will create the approval process, and we will go from there. If you have any questions or any ideas, hit me up in the DMs or in the comments.